Today I'm going to take a look at this streamlined train. This is probably the rarest train I have. If it isn't the rarest train, it's definitely the most interesting to me. This is a Consoli family Comet, and I've seen, I think maybe like one other one on the internet that had been for sale, and I had the opportunity to get this, and what I got was there's two power cars, the head car and the tail car, which are virtually identical except for the name on them, are both powered by it's a perm mag motor. It's a DC motor, and then the center car is just a car. There's some real pluses and minuses to this set, and the biggest plus was it came with the original diaphragms for the vestibules, and that's an oft missing part even with the regular Consoli Zephyr trains. Now this train here traces its heritage back to the Western Coil and Electric Zephyrs, which were the similar in design to the Lionel Zephyr and the American Flyer, but originally it was made by Western Coil and Electric, and later on a gentleman named Consoli, and I'm going to say it was Anthony or Anton, I'm not positive right now, he bought the tooling and had enough wherewithal to really go back into production with the Zephyr trains, and he made some really nice trains himself, kind of in his garage with his family, doing the work. And the guy must have been a bit of a machinist, whatever, and he did some really nice work considering it was basically done in his garage. Now the original Western Coil Electrics used a Barber-Coleman motor. It was a brushless motor, and it was a pretty interesting piece in and of itself. Now this train has a brushed DC motor. Now this on the bottom, let me see if I can get a let me take this off here. This has the Consoli family ticket. Okay, I don't know how good that's going to come across. It says Consoli Family Train Company, 25 Hawthorne Road, Wayne, New Jersey, 07470, gives a phone number. Now, this train was modified a little bit at some time. Somebody put a hole in it and put a switch in it, which I'm assuming was to control some type of E-unit or whatever. Now, when I got the train, it wouldn't run because, first of all, the gauging of the wheels on both motors was way off, where the gauging for O gauge is 1 1/4. These wheels had a flange to flange distance of probably 1 5/16, maybe a little more. Now the funny thing was the wheels sit on an axle that's stepped, so you can only push the wheels on a certain distance. So what I had to do is I took the motor apart, took the wheels off, remachined the axle flanges to the correct gauging, and reinstalled the wheels. And the other thing I did in this piece here, originally there was a separate rectifier in each end of the train, and it was, I guess it was supposedly supposed to go in one direction only. Well, I added this E-unit, and I hooked it up to the switch that was there to turn it on and off. I didn't drill any other holes that weren't there already, so I used only the available holes. And what I did is, the original train would have a single wire plug and connector that went from car to transfer the power to the lights and the just the interior lighting. So what I have here is I have it's a 3-prong affair, which transfers the 2 power wires from the head car along with a power wire for the lighting, and that goes back to the tail car. And what that gives me is the ability to control both motors with this single E unit. Now that's a nice heavy duty rectifier, so it has no problems running the both motors. And I had to do a little bit more work. There's a spacer that sits between the head, the top piece of the train, and the motor to space the body up so it sits level. And there were some washers and kind of a crude affair there, so I made a proper spacer for each car that put the body to sit at the right height. There is, on the original train, there was a little filler piece that looked like a grill work. It had louvers or slots in it to fit in there, and when I get the time, I'm gonna make kind of a replacement piece for that so it looks more original. And each end of the car is lighted. Okay, it's got the nice blue, and there's like an engine turned metal piece on the sides with the name on it. Front side is Providence, and the rear car is Boston. And then on the side it says New York, New Haven, and Hartford. And it's really one cool train, and a couple minutes I'll send it around the layout. I wish I could remember who I got this from or where I even got it, but I just don't, because I'd like to contact them and see what information they have on the train, because it just so rarely comes up. And even the Consoli Zephyrs and the Western Coil Zephyrs don't come up too often, although you can find one if you look hard enough. There also is a with the original style of the Flying Yankee type Zephyr. There's a gold one that may or may not be cast out of brass, but it's definitely gold colored. I don't own that. I do own a Consoli family Zephyr and a Western Coil Zephyr, and this really rounded out that collection. This is the best looking of the trains. It's very Art Deco looking, and it runs really well once I got all the little issues squared away. So, I'm going to send it around the track a couple times, and you can see it run.